Step you back. Sunshine's here. So continuing our heart opening back bend theme. So you've been working on that, the action of the thighs, the length of the spine, using our core. So we really need to make sure the legs are engaged when we're coming into back bends, so that we're not sagging down through it, to get nice and long, really activate the thighs. So we've been doing a lot of supines of prone, so face down, so sphinx, cobra, locust, that kind of thing, so that you can press the hips down, use the legs strongly, so that then you can reach the chest forward and come into a back bend that way without overly forcing through the arms. So at the beginning we did dancer pose, so we're going to put that in today, just briefly. And last we did bow pose, where your tummy down, take hold of your feet and lift. So this is the arms behind you, back bend. So even with locust, sphinx and cobra, that it's the arms are extended behind you. And we did camel pose, which is the same when you're on your knees and you're arcing backwards to reach for your ankles, or we tried using the block either side. So today we're going to have a go at, and this is so it's upward facing wheel pose. So it's Urdvha Dhanurasana. So Dhanurasana was the downward facing, take hold of your legs, bow pose. So this one means it's the arms overhead. So often this is where there's no escaping restriction in the shoulders. So we're going to warm the shoulders up, and obviously we need to use glutes, core, thighs. So it's like we're going to move in flow to just get it all warmed up. And then there's a little trick to try and help us into an overhead back bend, is where we can actually, we're going to come to the wall, and hopefully we've got enough blocks, but to use 2 blocks to put your hands onto, so you don't actually have to reach all the way around to get your palms down. You can actually lean the blocks against the wall so the angle is changed. And essentially it's bridge pose, but then you're going to lift your shoulders up and push through the arms. So there are loads of different variations. Obviously, if you don't feel comfortable in it, or your shoulders aren't strong enough, then you don't have to go there. And we can just stay in bridge and build that strength through the arms and so on. But that's where we're heading today. So we're going to start with breath work. Pranayama is Kapalabhati. So this is the skull shining. So we're only paying attention to the exhale. As the inhale, you're causing a vacuum as you blow out through your nose. So the inhale will just draw itself into that vacuum. So for those of you, Jackie and Bianca, I don't think you'll know this breath. No? Kapalabhati it's called. No. So you might want to, if you bring your hands to your stomach, and essentially as you'll keep your mouth closed, it's like you're snuffing out a candle, but with your mouth closed, so through your nose. So on an exhale, it's like your tummy button moves back towards your spine. So it's blowing out through your nose. So we're practicing that. It's almost like hyperventilating, but don't think about the inhale, because that's a different breath. That's bellows. So we're just trying to focus on blowing it out. And you can be as slow as you like. So but it's a real deep diaphragm movement. So close your eyes so you can focus a little more, and maybe just take a few settling breaths before you start. So sitting tall, let thighs soften a little. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling deeply. With Kapalabhati, we'll inhale completely, exhale completely, and then a half inhale, and then you start to pump the breath out. Okay, so start with me. Inhale, exhale, and we're going to pump for 10 counts. Halfway in, pump. Let the inhale come in. Exhale out. We're going to do it 3 times. Halfway in and pump. Inhale. Exhale. Halfway. The last 10 will pump. And then just allow that sensation to percolate through the body. Keep your eyes closed. Just being aware of that sensation in your skull. There may be a little buzz. Feel a little out of breath, so just letting the breath settle. And then exhaling, lowering your head. And blinking your eyes open. Looking forward. Off the block. And then cross at the shins. So we're going to do our hip opener. So cross legs. So not like this, cross at the shins deeply. Take your hips back so that you can, the front shin, the ankle and the knee are in a parallel. Sit up tall and hinge forward. So fingertips are down, that might be enough. But if you can start to draw the chest towards the shins, walk your hands away a little, relax your head. So really feeling into, so that the hip of that leg that's in front, you should feel a deep opening there. But use your core. You can inhale, lift your chest and chin slightly, exhale, fold a little deeper. So trying to soften into it. And then inhale, walk your hands back. Lean back, you're going to cross the legs the other way. So again, a deep cross of the shins, flex at the ankles. Inhale, lifting up through the spine, and then exhale, hinge. I'm trying to get long in the spine and almost dragging, digging the fingers in, dragging your hips forward. And then exhaling, walk your hands back up. Uncross, come onto your hands and knees. And we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So you'll inhale to cow, looking up, tailbone turning up, and exhale into cow, arching the back, drawing the chin under, tucking the tailbone, just following your own breath. And then tabletop, so our sink and punch. So you can have toes tucked or feet, tops of the feet down, but straight arms. Want to move the shoulder blades so the hips stay level, head stays where it is in line with the spine, and then on an exhale, you're going to sink the chest between your arms, draw the shoulder blades together, and then inhale, punching up, spreading the shoulder blades. So here we're working, just keep moving with the breath, but trying to keep the arms straight. So just unsticking those shoulder blades and the back of the ribs. So it's not cat-cow. Keep the head still, just the shoulder blades spreading and drawing together. And then take your knees wide, toes touching, sit back in child's pose, balasana. So bring the hands forward, rest your forehead down. You can drop your elbows. So rest the arms, just feel into the hips. And sometimes this is even challenging for the fronts of the ankles, so you can feel even through the feet. And then activate your child's pose. So straighten your arms, press your palms down. Tailbone drawing towards heels, lengthen the spine. Okay, and then inhaling, tuck your toes. You can shuffle your knees back a little. We're going to come into puppy pose or heart melting pose. This is Anahartasana. So hips stay over knees, tuck your toes under, turn your tailbone up to the ceiling and bring your hands all the way forward. You might want your block to rest your forehead, but if you can, you're going to draw the forehead or even the chin to the mat. And now you're feeling that length in the front body, the side of the ribs. Rest the forehead down. So try to think shoulders, that heart melting, softening through the front of the ribs. Keep that energy through the hips. Okay, and then come back up onto hands and knees. Place your hands ready for down dog. Tuck your toes, come up into down dog. And slowly start to paddle your heels, walk your dog, feeling into the calves. And then inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. And then step the right foot between your hands for low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Drop the left knee down, flatten the foot. Draw the arms up as you sink your hips, but drawing the navel back towards the spine. So you want to knit your ribs just gently so you can reach up, sink the hips, lift your chest. And you're curling through the upper back, gazing up at your thumbs. And then exhale, bring the hands down on the inside of the front foot. So you can shuffle your foot across to the right. So you can bring your hands under your shoulders, but keep the toes pointing forwards. And hug the knee into the right knee into the upper right arm. And either stay here in lizard lunge, lizard low lunge, or you can make it stronger by lifting the back knee. So up to you. But we want to keep that connection between the thigh and the shoulder. And look forward. So the back of the head in line with the spine. Push the floor away, round through the upper back a little. And then step back to down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Step the left foot between your hands. Oh, sorry, anyway, bring your both hands on the inside of the left foot for lunge. Oh no, sorry, I haven't done my lunge. Sorry, ahead of myself. Drop the back knee down, draw in through your core, bring the arms up. So we're lunging, so feel into this back bend. We're not just collapsing, but we are trying to lift the chest, engage the core, turn the gaze, the drishti up between the thumbs. So soften around the sides of the neck. And then exhale, palms down on the inside of that left foot, move the left foot across to the left a little. Hug knee into shoulder, tuck the back toes under if you want to make it stronger. But really press the floor away, straight arms, spread the shoulder blades a little, and don't let the head hang. We're toning through the back of the shoulders. And then step back to down dog. Then inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. Ragdoll for a moment, but you can also little slight bending of knees, alternately a little elephant walk to feel into the hamstrings, and then slowly coming up to stand and coming to the front of the mat. For standing in mountain, we're going to do 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salute A, but we're going to do our longer hold on the Sphinx back bending poses. So just follow me. Inhale, bring your arms up, your palms to touch. Reach up. We're taking an extra breath as we move. Exhale, forward fold. So you can bend your knees to reach your fingertips down, hang your head, or straight arms, palms down. Inhale to halfway lift. Flat back. So palms into shins, straight legs. Draw the kneecaps up so you can help release those hamstrings, look up. And then exhale, step back to high plank. So if you want to drop your knees behind your hips, but you're going to tip forward, pause in chaturanga, elbows over wrists, and then drop hips to the mat. Slide your hands forward. So we're going to come into Sphinx. So elbows under shoulders, forearms are parallel, and use your legs. So the first of our proper back bends, so you want to press the tops of the feet down and that internal rotation of the thighs. So your knees and tops of your feet are pressing down or engaged. Press through the elbows, draw your chest forward, but feel how you need to press the hips down, draw your chin down slightly so the neck is long. And then exhale for locust. So you're going to lie down, keep the tops of the feet down on the floor for the moment, and then hook thumbs. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other, roll, shrug your shoulders, and draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Inhale, lift feet and hands, but keep that internal rotation of the thighs and bring the inside edge of the feet together. And then exhale, soften, release, bring the hands beside your rib cage. For cobra, hug the elbows in, tops of the feet press down. Inhale, draw your chest forward. So we want that feeling of, you feel like you're pressing the palms down and then pushing them forward, but actually drag them back towards your hips. So you feel your triceps light up, elbows bent, keep the hips down. And then we're going to float the hands. So your ribs will have to come down on the mat. Lift the hands. You're trying to back bend without your arms. And then palms down, tuck your toes, come up into down dog. 3 breaths here. You can move a little, just whatever the body feels. And then inhaling to come forward, come up on your toes, bend your knees deeply, look forward and step, hop, jump forward to halfway lift. Palms into shins, look up, tailbone up. Exhale, fold. And inhale, far up the thighs, the core reaching up. Just for a beat as you reach through the middle fingers, and then exhale to standing mountain. So one more. From the front of the mat, inhale, bring your palms to touch. Look up, knit those ribs, strength of the thighs, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Then exhale, palms down and step back to high lunge, high plank. Sorry. Okay, so shoulders over wrists. And then you're going to drop your knees if you need to, and then tip forward, bend your elbows, and then lower the hips to the mat. Slide your forearms forward for Sphinx. So elbows under shoulders. Feeling into that, press the hips down, press the tops of the feet down so you feel the kneecaps lifting. Draw your chest forward. And then exhale, set up for locust. So now hook the thumbs the other way. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your feet, bring the inside edge of the feet together. Keep breathing, and then exhale, palms beside ribs. Tops of the feet press down so the kneecaps lift. Come into cobra, low cobra. So just lift the ribs off, you're lifting up to your belly buttons. Keep the elbows bent And you want to draw those elbows down so the shoulders are away from the ears. Get the neck long. So you start to curl that chest between your arms and then hover your hands. Keep breathing, feet down. And then exhale, palms down, tuck your toes, come up into down dog. And then inhaling to come forward to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale all the way up. For an extra breath, you're going to reach. Better. And then into mountain pose. Oh, where's my brain today? Sorry, just liven the music up a bit. Okay, so we're going to do a slightly different version of Sun Salute B, Surya Namaskar B. So standing in mountain, inhale to chair pose. So bring the arms up. You want to feel the ribs here, that the ribs will lift, but you want to keep a neutral spine. So don't tuck the tailbone under, and then draw your knees back slightly so your weight is in your heels. And then turn the gaze between your thumbs. You're drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, step back to plank. Tip forward and pause in chaturanga, and then lower to the mat. Inhale to low cobra, tops of the feet press down. Draw the chest forward as the shoulders come away from it. So you can lift your chin, but don't sink into your neck like a turtle. And then exhale, lowering down, tuck your toes, come up into down dog. There's a slight difference here with the warrior sequence. Inhale, right leg lifts. Bring the right foot between your hands for warrior one. So you're going to drop the left heel down, left toes point slightly forward. Sink through the right knee. And then your internal rotation of that left thigh. Draw in through your core. Bring your arms up. And then we're going to bring the arms into cactus. So that's elbows at shoulder height. And draw the elbows and palms back so they're in line with the shoulders. And then we're going to squeeze 3 times. Use your breath. So exhale as you squeeze forward, inhale, forward. And then we're going to come into humble warrior. So keep your legs as they are. So the right knee should stay over the right ankle. Draw your arms behind you and dip forward. So you don't have to come all the way. What we're going to do is hover with our chest above our front thigh. So your gaze is down, but the attention is on what the legs are doing. And then squeeze through your fingertips and hug your arms towards each other as if you're holding a beach ball. So the hands aren't touching. And then exhale, palms down. Step back to high plank. Chaturanga. Lower to the mat. You can come into up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. So now the other side, inhale, left leg lifts. Step the left foot forward. Come up into warrior one. So bend that left knee. Make sure you can see the big toe on the inside. And then this time we're going to do, we did this last week, I think. So it's going to be cow face, Gomukhasana arms. So you're staying in warrior one legs. Hips level to the front, drive through the back heel, engage. And then you're going to bring the arms up, but we're going to touch the right hand to the shoulders and the left hand behind. So they don't have to reach because you're just going to keep them moving. So just internal external rotation while the legs are possibly trembling. Keep lunging. And then humble warrior. So again, stay a bit higher than we would normally. So just reach the chest forward, drive through the back heel. Sweep your arms up behind you. So you want to squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Your gaze is down. Working glutes and hamstrings. And then exhale, palms down, step back to plank. Lower through chaturanga. And inhale to up dog or cobra. If your hips are down, bend your elbows. And then inhale, coming up into down dog. Take 3 breaths. And then inhale to come forward to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Then bend your knees. Inhale to chair pose and pause. While we're in chair pose, we're then going to bring the palms together at your heart center. Take the knees back slightly, sit down deeper. And you're trying to make your knees and ankles want to be hip width apart. Don't let them fold inwards. You can have your feet and knees together or feet and knees apart, not both. And then we're going to lean forward and twist. So twist to your left or either way and hold. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist the other way. So it doesn't matter what your elbows are doing. You're just reaching a active twist. Come back to center and then slowly stand. Well done. Standing mountain with your eyes closed for a moment. And then inhale, open your eyes and take your block. Does anybody not have a block? Got one? Okay. So from the front of the mat, hold your block. Inhale, lift your left leg up, step back to warrior 2. So you're on that central line, right knee stacked over right ankle, left foot parallel to the back of the mat. And then you're going to, so warrior is here. So the chest turns, so it's almost a twist while your hips stay externally rotated, arms wide, and then bring your arms up and you're going to hold your block. And we want to, instead of grabbing the block, we want to press into the sides of the block. So as you lunge in warrior, and then we're going to lean. So you're going to keep pressing, so fingertips high, press into the block, shoulders a little away from ears. And then we're going to lean over the front leg. This is your core. Push the block away from you. Inhale, come back to center. And then we're going to do a reverse lunge. So legs stay the same, but you're going to lean. So you won't get far, but you'll feel into that right side of your body. Come back to center. Once more, lean forward. Inhale, come back to center. Reverse. Take the arms, keep pressing into the sides of the block. Come back to center and then let your arms release. Turn your feet parallel. Turn the left leg out. So now you're warrior 2 to the left side. So same thing on the other side. So now bend through the left knee. Squeeze the outside edges of the block and then lean over that front leg. This knee to track. Yeah. Sorry, for sure. Same thing, Bianca, want this knee to track. Yeah, there we go. And then inhale, reverse your warrior. So keep the lunge, don't come up. Keep bending through that left knee. And then come forward again. Feel into the side body. The arms might be like, oh, what am I doing up here? And reverse the lunge. And then come back to center and bring your arms down. Turn your feet parallel. Take a rest. And then we're going to do the same thing, but goddess. So now your feet are wide. You're going to turn your toes out. But in goddess, we want to make sure that when you bend your knees, they don't fold inwards. So you need to, if you need to shorten your stance, but you want to take the knees out. So when you sit down, the knees are tracking over your toes. So we're working the inner thighs. And then lift the block up. So feel your navel drawing in as you press the knees out. Try and draw the tailbone down a little so shoulders are above hips. Press that block up. And then we're going to come up to straight legs. Reach up, so really feel that sides of the ribs lifting, and then exhale, sink into goddess. Once more, lift up, reach. Exhale, goddess, and then bring the block down. Straighten your legs, and then heel toe. Bring your feet together. Okay, come down onto your bottom with your block. So we're going to practice bridge pose, because this is the beginning of the overhead arms back bends. So normally we would have our arms by our side, unless sometimes we do a flowing bridge, but we want to bring the block the thinnest way between our knees, and then don't have the feet too close to your ankles, because what will happen when you're back bending is that you might want to move your feet away from your hips. So just finding at the moment you want to have your heels roughly under your knees, so you might be able to, depending on the length of your arms, you might be able to touch them with your middle finger and squeeze the block. And then so normally I say tilt the pelvis back, so you press the lower back down, but we're going to squeeze the block, push through the soles of the feet, so you really feel your thighs, have the arms pressing down so the shoulder blades are connected to the mat, and then lift your hips straight up. Press, press, press the block, dig your heels in. So that's quads and hamstrings. You're going to pause there, keep the breath coming. And then exhale, lowering down. So the same thing, that we're not going to lower vertebrae by vertebrae, hips down last. You want to feel the power of your legs as you come up. There's no right or wrong, but for this reason, we're trying to feel our thighs when we're in back bends and how you need to use your hips. So do at your own pace, but take 3 breaths while you're in bridge, and then lower down for a breath, and then come back up. Okay, complete the bridge you're on, and then lower your hips down. Remove the block and hug your knees into your chest. Little rock and roll there, and then rock 3 times backwards and forwards until you come to sit. So try and get all the way along the spine, use your core. Okay. So before we come to the wall and we start practicing Urdhva Dhanurasana, we're going to do wild thing. So it's a back bend from down dog. So I think most of you have done this before, but there are options to not go into the hut. So wild thing is, use the ignitable material. We'll start, so firstly, we'll start in down dog where we're warming up, we'll roll forward, coming back like a flow where you use your core, come forward into high plank, back into down dog to warm up through the hips and shoulders. But then we'll start with high plank, so press the floor away, hug those shins towards each other, deep core engage, and then you'll bring one knee forward, just to under the hip, and then shoot that leg out to the side. And you want to flex the foot, so you can use that press down through the outside edge of the foot, and you can just pause here. So it's a deep, if you were to drop the hips, it's strong on the outer hips, it's strong on the shoulders, and that might be enough. You want to be able to bring yourself back into down dog. But then we can also try where we'll move one hand forward and we drop the back heel. So that's the next level. And again, we can lift and lower to work the outer hips. It might be strong enough just to be here, but make sure that you're able to come back into down dog. And then wild thing is to come forward, reach out, so the arm comes forward, and you're going to turn. So I'm going to start to straighten. I'm bending this leg so I can push off, and then I'm going to start to straighten, and then I'll back bend. So you want to lift hips up, and this foot here I can push down on the outside, lift and reach, hips coming forward, but it's external rotation here, so you need a strong arm, which I didn't have on that side, and then back to down dog, and then just taking a break. So there's lots of points of bus stops where you can get off. And if you want to just practice building strength in your shoulders, then it's more staying in this range where we'll just curling forward, feel that spreading of the shoulders and coming back, or even to practice here chaturanga dips where your shoulders don't go below your elbows. So there's lots to do, but if you want to come to the whole thing, because then we're then going to just a couple of times try with the blocks at the wall to do an overhead practice. Okay, so starting in down dog. And in fact, I think we'll practice a side plank just so I can check that where everyone's at on shoulders and so on. So if you roll forward into high plank, shoulders over wrist, press the floor firmly away, and then you're going to take your weight into your right hand, roll onto the outside edge of the right foot. If you need to, you'll bring the left foot forward as a kickstand. Left foot, oh, left, yeah, right hand forward, left foot comes in front. You're going to reach up. Yes, and then exhale to down dog. So just noticing here how you feel through your shoulders. It's very strong. And then the other side, inhale, roll forward into high plank. You can stack your feet if you can, that's the pose. But if you want to use the kickstand, then you'll bring that right foot in front of you. Well done. And then exhale to down dog. So with the feet, it's like to drop your knees a moment. So when you roll forward, don't come a sort of halfway house. You want to be in high plank. You can take a hand's width forward, so you've just got a different angle for the shoulder. I can roll onto the outside edge, stack my feet. I can do this, or this, which helps. So we're trying not to have this when you're not in control of it. You want to be here first, push the floor away, strong through the shoulder, not sinking into it. But if you feel able to, you're here. and then you're here. But if you're not sure what you're doing, then this isn't really helpful, because that's not, you want it to support your hips. Okay, so this time we're going to roll, we're going to come into down dog. If you want to practice high plank again, we're going to do the right side, but everybody anyway, bring your right hand to the top corner of the mat, come into high plank, and either practice your high plank, or you're going to bring the right knee under your right hip and then shoot the right foot out to the left. Flex the foot and then reach the left arm up. Well done. Try and press your hips forward so your head is in line with your hips and shoulders. And then exhale, bring the foot back, come back into down dog. Don't forget, you can take other options. Other side, roll forward into high plank and then bring the left hand slightly forward. Left knee hovers under the hip and then shoot it out to the right. Press through the outside edge of that left foot, reach. So you really feel the hips are strong. And then exhale, down dog. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to come into the next version, which is, so you can drop your knees, everybody, if you need a little break first. So don't forget your breath, because if you hold your breath, it's harder. So even just to let it out, open your mouth, let the breath out, so that you feel more in control. The body's, well, you're telling the body, okay, it's fine, chill. So far, it's fine. Okay. We come into, no, sorry. We're then shooting the foot forward as we were, dropping the back heel, reaching up. This time you can bend the back knee and then press and lift up and over. I must demo on the other side. So if we want to try for a wild thing, come into down dog. Use your breath. So start on the right side first. Inhale, come forward into high plank. Bring the right knee forward and the foot out to the left. Ground that foot. Bring that foot in line with your hips, like so you want it further forward. Now you're going to, yeah, so you can bend the left knee a little if you need to lift your hips higher. And take the arm behind you. Yes, lovely. Open the chest, heart opening, and then exhale. Bring yourself back down. Let's take a little child's pose for a moment. So the main thing is to know what your body is up for today, because we don't want, it's supposed that it doesn't matter if you don't get it, but there are stages to it, so they can come another day. Okay, and then other side. The feeling strong through the shoulders, engage the core, roll yourself forward, and then you're going to, from high plank, bring that left foot out to the side. So it's the right knee that bends to lift your hips higher, not the left. So keep the left leg straight and bend. Yeah, yes. And then when you're ready, exhale. And come back into child's pose. And you might want to just bring your knees slightly closer together, bring your arms down by your side, palms facing up. So even though it's about the poses, if we're heading to a particular pose, but it doesn't matter, it's still what your body is learning. And all these are expanding your rib cage, giving all those organs a bit more space, and even the concentration is just allowing the mind to clear. Okay, and then coming to sit. And I might ask, Chetna, do you mind demoing for me? You can, because I feel that you'll be. Well, I'll be. Yeah. Well, we're going to use the blocks, so we're going to, just because I can't push through this. So this is just to see how it feels. So it doesn't matter really what happens, but this is just to show you that there's the difficulty in bow pose is you'll start in bridge. So if you come down onto the ground and lying back, and it's this feeling of that taking the arms behind your head and then you're lifting your hips. So if you lift, oh, maybe should have put you on that side, but if you need to move to come and look, so it's the sensation that you don't want that to happen, the elbows to splay, because you lose your power. It's like chaturanga. So arms up and then press. Yeah, you might need to be a little bit. Are those too close together? Hold on, let me just move them apart. Back a little. And then it's the bridge sensation. You're going to strong legs, dig your heels in, and then you can start to, push through the palms and lift up. Perfect. And then draw your chin in and lower yourself. Tuck your chin, tuck your chin. Well done. Perfect, Gemma. Any questions? So the hardest thing is the push from behind your head, because there's this thing like I really struggle with is once you can't see parts of your body, it's proprioception. It's like where you are in space. And normally when you're doing this or it's all out in front of you, once they go behind, sometimes it's like you get this sense that you're falling, like that's not going to catch you. So that's why this kind of, these blocks are a little smaller, but they should be firm enough to get the sensation of how you need to push to lift your hips. And you don't need to come up. Like there, I was just helping check, because part of the thing is you almost don't know which way round you are. So it's just to practice arms overhead and then trying to lift your hips as if in bridge and push the wall away. So your hands on the blocks and trying to push away. So we'll give it a go. So we've got 12 minutes or so. So bring your mat short end to the wall. Yeah, if you can do it without, well, you can't use the block. So you can do wheel, can you? Someone can use my mat if you want to. She might get. Sorry, yes, take that one there. So there are more blocks in there. I might give. Oh, here. Mark, do you want to use the bigger ones?
Oh, yeah.
And could someone borrow yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody want to borrow it? Has anyone not got two? You got two. Oh, we've got an extra one here for somebody. Is that right? Oh, you can do. But you can if you want to help each other. Let me turn the light on. So you want to prop your blocks so they're at an angle. And you might feel you need your head slightly nearer the wall, but so it's essentially you feel like you're setting up like bridge, heels under knees, and then power up the thighs, lift your hips, and then you're going to reach your arms, press them into the blocks, and then roll onto the top of your head. But you want to, yes, oh, beautiful, Lauren, well done. So squeeze your thighs towards each other. Here, that's it, well done. Breathe, and then tuck your chin. Well done. Lovely. Yeah, what you need to do, right, tuck your chin to come down, is to move your feet slightly away, because you can't back, you're a little stiff in your back, that you can't get you're coming onto, those feet can go slightly away. You can even take them apart a little more if it helps. Let me change the angle. So you want those a little bit down a bit more. Yeah. And then it's inhale, exhale.
I'm not strong enough to push.
That's,
isn't that because my arm's not strong enough?
Yes, but that's fine. There. Dig through your heels, feel that. Yeah, now breathe, bring your chin to your chest, back of the head down.
Okay. I just need to be stronger my arm.
Yeah. Yes, it's really difficult from this angle. So, but it's that sensation of you're trying to feel a push to get yourself up. Well done, Mark. Don't forget to breathe. We need a hand. Well done. Right. See if you can, you're a bit too far away from the wall, actually. Hold on. Hold on. Come down a second, Belen. Yeah. Chin to chest. Yeah. Come a little bit closer.
Right.
So head a little bit closer to the blocks.
Like,
yeah. That should be. Okay. And then inhale and then exhale. That's it.
Oh, wow. I haven't been able to do this.
Right. You're going to try and lift your head off so you're not on. So, yes, there we go. Well done. Well done. Strong legs. Dig your heels in. And now chin to chest. Tuck your head. Tuck your chin in so you can lower the back of the head down. Hey, well done. Bravo. Well done. How are we doing? So, if you've all any questions. Okay. Oh, that's why the blocks help to start, because it's the angle is so difficult to push from. Is to use your legs to push. So I'm not going to. So you really need to be strong in your leg. Dig your heels in so you can try and push your hips up, and then that's going to lift your head. But you need. Sorry. Yeah. So let's. So really bridge first. So think about lifting your hips, and then on an exhale, right. There we go. Legs, heels, heels, and then tuck your chin. Back of the head is going to come down. So lower yourself down. Back of your head down.
Yeah, got it.
There you go. Well done. Well done. Do you want to go? Pork ones are great. Come this side. So bridge first. So you're going to far up the legs, lift your hips. Use your breath, and then exhale, you're going to push.
I don't have the strength of my arms to do that, do I?
Your block's gone away from you.
I don't think I've got the strength in my arms to do that.
Let's try once more. Push, push, push. There you go. Tuck your chin, tuck your chin. Did that hurt? Okay, so lie back, bend your knees, and just do windshield wipers. So feet down, knees bent. So take your feet wide. And arms just out to the side. So just release through the hips.
Yeah, push, push, push.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
there we go.
And then
I really got to feel it to know that you can do it, haven't you?
that's what I mean. It's hard to know which way to push.
Yeah.
You feel like you're pulling. Yeah. Okay. And then hug your knees into your chest. Okay, and then figure four, just bend bring one ankle, or rather, sorry, thread the needle. So cross one ankle across the opposite knee, and then grasp the thigh. You just feel this into the shoulders as well. And the other side. And then coming into Shavasana, relaxation. So put your warmth on where you are.